Welcome
Welcome
to Sleepdrunk.
to Sleepdrunk.
to Sleepdrunk, where this is bull. That did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Okay, so episode 2. We've made it. We have first episode's up at this point.
Yes, first episode was pushed yesterday around 9 p.m.
We're officially on all of your favorite listening platforms.
Those being Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and our own archive page, which has RSS if you are one of those people.
I mean, RSS is actually quite nice if you have it set up correctly.
I'm just saying, if you're one of those people.
Yes, you are.
No context attached.
So I guess we're going to start this episode off with our little updates in our lives. I think this time I'll take the first. So without further ado, welcome to Alavi's Anecdotes, the segment in the show where I talk about the last week in my life. So this one's going to be a bit different because there's a bit of overlap with the last episode recording. So if you want to hear about everything from Monday through Tuesday, just go to that one, go to the previous episode. But in the rest of the week, not a whole lot happened. I had a test, which was nice. We had a very, very nice progression in a certain, shall we say, debacle that has been occurring in our shared lives, which you'll hear about later in the show. And I tried Waterloo-flavored sparkling water for the first time, black cherry. I quite like it. I think it's got some nice boldness to it. The bubbles are nice. Like, they use a different sort of carbonation method than my go-to, which is LaCroix. And yeah, it's quite good. Quite good. How about you guys?
Well, I guess this'll transition right into Mike's Minute. I've had a pretty quiet week as well. I skipped Russian on Monday. That was a mistake. What I didn't know was that our professor assigned us a quiz while I was gone. So when I showed up Friday morning, he slapped me with a nice, hefty Russian verb quiz that I was only a little prepared for. I think I did okay, but if you know anything about Russian verbs, it's just unpleasant sometimes, you know what I mean? Other than that, it's been a pretty quiet week. Just classes going on as per usual. Just getting through that college grind, you know? What about you, Alex? What's been going on in your life?
Well, in Alex's asymmetrical unit of time, this has been a very low-key week. Not hardly anything has gone on. I didn't find out about any of my exam scores. It's truly upsetting. I was supposed to find out about my physics, and I didn't. Had a really, again, a really nice progression in that certain debacle that has been happening in our shared lives. Very happy about that. And then we enjoyed our very nice snow day on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Didn't really get anything done, but it was just nice to have another break from school. We don't have that enough.
Mm-hmm. We really don't.
Yeah. Good little update to the week. Now, moving into today's, I guess, initial topic of discussion. So, a bit of preface to this. The other day, I was watching a video by the wonderful JonTron on Dan Aykroyd. I probably butchered his name. I can't be bothered to say it right.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, it's
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
On Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull Vodka. And on it, he had legendary TV and radio host Larry King mentioned, because Dan Aykroyd presented to Larry King. And it made me think, Larry King's been around for a long time.
Some say it's a few centuries.
Yeah, I've never remembered a time without Larry King.
Yeah, I think probably because he was on CNN longer than any of us were alive.
I remember watching the old CNN newsroom with the little dots in the background.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was like 6 and I found out that it was a map, and I was like, oh shoot, man.
Also, listeners, that was the most forced not swear ever.
It was.
Because censoring's a pain.
It is a pain, because then we got to go put the song of the day.
Yes.
Yeah, but how are we supposed to have the Song of the Day challenge if you don't swear?
Yes, that is true. But also, it's still a pain.
We'll swear eventually. Like, look at me. I'm the guy that says constantly.
There it is. Okay, so moving on. So I ended up watching an episode of his very recent, one of his more recent productions, Politicking, which may I say is just said poorly because it should be said Politicking.
It is. It's Politicking.
Yeah, no, but it's Politicking.
But it still has the king there.
Yeah. Well, so I was watching it and I realized he's really old. It's not that, like, he's 85, but also he has, like, physically aged a lot. And I was thinking, like, he's probably gonna die soon. Like, we lost Stan Lee recently. We lost Stephen Hawking. We've lost a lot of really important elderly people as of late. And I feel like Larry King, I hope he doesn't die, but my gut's telling me it's close.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Yeah. So I ended up looking a little into his life, and that's what inspired this bit, where today, I, after compiling much research, will describe many of the exploits of Larry King and see how my co-hosts react to them. So, are you two ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
I'm so ready to learn about Larry King.
Because let me say, Larry King, he's done some... And that was intentional. Okay, so first off, let's talk about his love life. Larry King is a lover. He enjoys loving people. He's been married 8 times to 7 women. First time was at the age of 19 in 1952. He got married to his high school sweetheart, which is wonderful, and then his parents annulled the marriage less than a year later.
That's rough.
Yeah, well...
But he was 19?
He was legally able to be married.
How did his parents annul the marriage?
I'm not sure, but they did. It was in the 50s. There's probably some different rules around this.
I guess
That's
so.
true.
So then, again in 61, many years later, he got married again, briefly had a son, Larry King Jr. Now, you think with a name like Larry King Jr., there's a real good father-son bond there, right? You know, like afternoons spent in the backyard throwing the pigskin barbecues.
Wait, it's Larry King.
It is Larry King. So Larry King Jr. did not meet his father until he was 30. Larry King Jr., not Larry King. Larry King Jr. was 30 when he met his father, who he is named after, keep in mind. It's not like it was like Larry King had a one-night stand in Moscow, maybe forgot to use protection, and oh, here's little child. No, this is Larry King Jr., his son, that is named after him from a marriage. The son did not meet his father until he was 30.
How does that happen? Like, okay,
I don't
how do you
know.
both have your son named after you and then also not meet him till he's 30? Like, that's just impressive, honestly, that you managed to pull that off.
Larry King, if you would like to come onto the show to defend yourself,
Oh, God.
feel free. I know you won't hear this. I know you won't, you geriatric. But
Dear God, Alavi. Give the man some slack.
I will. I'm sorry, Larry King. Well, the point is, so once rolling on marriage number 2. So in 61, he married a Playboy bunny, and at this point, he's getting on in his years, right?
Actually, I thought that was a joke when you told me that originally.
No, he is.
Oh, you actually married a
He
Playboy
married a
bunny.
Playboy bunny,
Isn't
right?
that like the peak of goals?
Well, so the point is, they divorced a year later.
Naturally.
Of course. I mean,
Of course.
Then, of course, in 62, he got married, and then divorced again. Not much happened there. At 63, he remarried the Playboy bunny. They had a kid, and actually had an almost 10-year-long marriage.
wow.
Nice long one.
yeah.
Got
With a
divorced in
Playboy
72.
bunny.
Got divorced in 72. So, number 5 was 76 through 86.
More like number 15, Burger King footlet.
So, in 1989, he met a businesswoman. Now, once again, you think a businesswoman, very career-oriented, you know, going into the office, working hard, that daily grind, beating those male coworkers. He proposed on their first date, and she said yes.
I mean, he is Larry King at this point. He is world-renowned.
By this point, is he actually Larry King, or is he just Larry King?
At this point, he is Larry King. This is in
he
89.
He
This
is
is in
Larry
89.
King.
This is
In
in
89.
89.
Larry King,
Okay,
yeah.
in 89, yeah, he's
But
Larry
still, first date, like...
I mean, sometimes you just know.
It's like you're going out for coffee. Hey, you want to get married? Well, so now 97. Okay, is that loss?
It is loss.
That's
It is
loss.
loss.
Are we getting lost in the sauce? Without sauce, a man is
Well, I've
lost.
to doctor this bit so much.
But the same man can get lost in the sauce.
That's going in the show notes, this image.
Okay, so for some context, Alex just kind of opened up his Discord server that he has with some friends of his, and there's a meme there. It's a meme. It's beautiful. That's going in the show notes.
It's quite beautiful.
It's quite beautiful. So back on topic.
The warrior poet, Gucci Mane. Without sauce.
right below the image, someone put a picture of warrior poet Gucci Mane before prison. You'll see this all in the show notes, listeners. So, in 1997, he married his current wife 3 days before heart surgery in a hospital room. He got married in a hospital room. He could have waited till after he had himself cut open.
I mean, if you're getting heart surgery, you might not get another chance.
But it's like, then does it really count as a marriage? It's a 3-day marriage and he died. Like, damn.
Like, maybe, but that's pretty poetic of him.
Is it, though? I think it's just him trying to rush things, because, like, he's not the kind of guy that might rush through a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a very Larry King thing to do.
It's a very Larry King thing to do. So, moving on.
It's very Larry
After his
King of him.
prolific love life, he was arrested in 1971 for grand larceny.
What did he steal?
I think, like, one of his business partners alleged that he stole a bunch of, like, company stock or something. I'm not entirely sure. It's quite abstract, but the charges were dropped. But online, there's a mugshot of a young Larry King who looks very different. We'll include that in the show notes, along with a current picture of Larry King for comparison.
Is it like the good kind of different? Like young Stalin versus old Stalin?
It's in the 70s, so his hair wasn't great, but other than that, it's not bad. He does look better, because right now it kind of looks like a skeleton.
Literally a bag of bones.
It's like, during the episode, right? I know this is going to sound bad, but, like, I thought I heard him stroking out as he was introducing it. He was like, today on Larry King, politicking.
Today on Politicking.
Donald Trump, Russia.
Donald Trump.
And something about
accurate.
this guy.
Yeah, that was
that was quite
really
accurate.
good, Alex.
Good job, Alex. But the charges were dropped. He's currently 85. In case I believe I mentioned that before, and he ran his show on CNN for 25 years.
Probably the longest host on CNN.
I think this might be one of the longest contiguous shows.
Like continuous news anchors.
Yeah, like one of if not the longest contiguous news anchors I know of. I mean, I do know that Al Roker's been around a long time, but not that long. But yeah, Larry King.
He's not
the 60 Minutes guy?
Larry King.
Oh, the 60 Minutes guy has been around for a long
I don't care if you're like 200 years old. You have not been around longer than Larry King.
Yeah, at least not culturally. And also, after leaving CNN, he signed a business deal with business magnate Carlos Slim, I believe the third or fourth richest person on Earth, to establish a whole news network. So yeah, he established either Aura or ORA, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it is a whole news network established by Larry King and Carlos Slim. And also he says he plans to broadcast till he dies. So quite soon.
Oh, dear God.
Look, you know, like, I'm sorry, he just doesn't look in good health. Like, I've seen healthy old people. He doesn't look like a healthy old person.
What was the news network that he started?
ORA, or Aura. I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, that's the life and times of Larry King. Do you guys have any comments? Anything interesting?
I don't know. This is pretty unitary. Like, this guy's love life seems like a roller coaster from
Larry
start to
King
finish. Like,
is a unit. He's an absolute unit.
He's a bona fide geriatric unit.
also, Alavi, you look like an anime character every single time you push your glasses up with your ring finger.
Well, so it's because, for context, my clear a prostitute.
You're a fucking weeb. What's worse? At least I have.
You watch
honest
Full
work.
Metal Alchemist.
I've seen 1.5 animes.
You watch Full Metal Alchemist, you watch Naruto.
I've seen 1.5 animes.
Well, so beside the point, yes, I'm a weeb. The reason I have to push my...
How many animes here?
You've seen 0, Alex.
0.
Yeah. But have you seen Cory in the House?
Cory in the House is the best anime. I don't care what you say.
That is such a dead meme.
Correction, I've seen 2.5 animes.
Okay, well, so a bit of context. So my eyeglass power is very high, and because of that, the lenses are very heavy, so they slide forward. I need to have my glasses adjusted. So in the meantime...
You should get them lined with, like, LED lights, then you can do, like, the little light flashy things.
Yes. Yes, I'll do that. Next time we go to my optometrist. But yeah, Larry King. I feel like he should enter the Sleepdrunk Pantheon. We should just establish a Sleepdrunk Pantheon. Larry King's on there.
Are we going to have, like, our own Hall of Fame?
Puxtawny Phil's the devil. Also, speaking of Puxtawny Phil, I forgot to mention this in Alavi's anecdotes. I looked up his rate of accuracy. It is more accurate to flip a coin than it is to trust Puxtawny Phil.
That's not necessarily true, though, because flipping a coin is not 50% successful. This has been proven multiple times.
It's very, very close to 50.
So which side of the coin is he?
I don't know. I forgot to read like the whole thing.
I think heads is generally heavier
Yeah, I would imagine.
because heads is consistent, at least on U.S. quarters. Because some tails just kind of like the Kansas one I got the other day. It's kind of a picture
There's
of
just
buffalo.
nothing there.
Yeah, like Kansas.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, just like Kansas.
It's Kansas.
Just like Kansas.
Kansas is in fact literally flatter than a pancake.
To our viewers in Kansas or listeners in Kansas, sorry, but it's true.
No, they know it.
They do know.
There's no way they don't know
They
it.
live there.
Kansas has a hill. It's just a very, very
Yeah, like if you
gradual
drive along the
incline.
interstate, there are technically hills, but like they're hills only because nothing's perfectly flat.
Yes,
Also, there's a lot of windmills.
a lot of windmills. It's a
I
windy
mean, that's
area.
what happens when you've got large flat area. That wind
there's
can
nothing.
really just pick
You
up.
put windmills there, and
Yeah.
you turn it into energy, boys.
Moving on to our next bit in the show. Remember that debacle we mentioned earlier?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about college housing
So
applications.
let's start from the very beginning.
Actually, wait. Before we do that, may I make a quick joke? Housing. Let's talk about that.
Oh,
That was so short.
I don't get it.
Because you're a fool, Michael.
This is probably true.
Okay, so college housing. Okay, so I think you might want to head the segment off, Alex, as I think you've been in this one the longest. Do you want to start from the very beginning?
I will start from the very beginning. So, the way housing works here at university is that once you are already here, then you're supposed to make friends. And with those friends, you get together and decide who is the most compatible friend to live with, or friends if you're going to live with more than one other person. And we shuffled through plans and, eventually our first conclusive, if I want to go back to the true beginning, we had this pipe dream that we were going to all somehow get our parents to agree to pay partially for basically a frat house. Let's be real.
Yeah, it was going to be our own personal.
It was going to call name of our building home. Like
Yes.
that is what that was going to be. And just because for context, a lot of us on this floor are friends
Yes,
together.
yes.
Like
We're
that's
very,
just
very
how we
close
are.
floor.
We're very close floor. And after that, what am I trying to say? Just after that, definitely fell through. Like,
Of course.
It fell through hard.
I don't know why we thought that was going to be in any way feasible, but it wasn't.
I mean,
and
to be fair, the housing options that we could find.
the housing
were
options that
pretty
we could find were doable, but like nobody's parents are going to agree to that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, that's a hard
the
sell.
individual with us that cannot drive, stuff like that. So after we gave up our pipe dream, we shuffled through different plans for housing, and Mike and Alavi here are roommates, obviously, and they were going to do their own thing. And I was going to go with a lot of the rest of the group. So I really wanted a single room next year. And I went ahead and called a single room. Another one of our... should I mention names?
First letter.
So another one of our friends, Jay, wanted to also have a single room. And the plan was that we got a 6-person apartment on campus with 2 single rooms and 2 double rooms. So I had a single room, Jay had a single room, G and B had a double room, and then S and I would have another double room. Yeah. And I does not live on the floor, but I was sort of dragged in by Jay, and then over winter break, there was a whole argument over how I had apparently said that he wanted a single room, but like he never voiced that ever, and then we eventually got him to agree to be a double with S.
I did not know that.
And
yeah, this is the first time hearing about that.
Yeah, that was really annoying. They tried to push me out of my single, and then Sean the Diplomat came in, and then just, basically got I to agree to room with him.
And I believe at this point, Alex did reach out to Michael and I and asked if he wanted to do something. At this point, we did have our own plans, sort of.
We did. We were just gonna sort of get a double wherever we could find it.
Although before that, we did have another option, which we'll detail in a little bit, but continue.
Well, after that, it was settled that the way I just described earlier was going to be the final plan. But so I did, I think since he was sort of distant from the rest of the group, I feel like did us dirty. Like, that's just what I feel. And what happened there was one day he just sort of texted the group chat, pretty last minute. Like it was coming down days to the application. And he just said, hey, I found another group. Or no. He said, I can't afford an apartment.
That's the style of housing we're going for.
Yeah, but like, that's just kind of BS, because with non-apartments, then you have to get the more expensive meal plan, and then they're not even that much cheaper.
Yes.
Which is, so obviously he did a sturdy. He just wanted a room with other people. Yeah. And then that left a gap. And we're all sitting around in the common room freaking out over who we're going to use to fill that gap. We needed one person.
So you guys did ask a few interesting people.
So one interesting human being on our floor just happened to walk in the door because we figured that this individual did not have housing. And Sean was just like, hey, do you have housing? And he agreed to it right then and there. And then later shot us down in the group chat for the floor
group chat.
The floor group chat.
There's 26 people in that group chat.
Yeah, that was a little brutal.
They all saw them get broken up with by this individual.
That's a bit brutal. Well,
so after that, Sean decided that he would actually just like to become an RA on campus. So he had different plans.
If I just may interject quickly, an RA, for those of you who don't know, is a residential advisor. They're just kind of like the people who live on the floor with you and make sure that
basically they're your boss.
Yeah, they're like they're kind of like your hall monitor.
They're a mix between your boss and your mom.
Yeah, they just kind of make sure that everything on the floor stays in order, no rules are broken, and they're students most of the time. Just a quick introduction for anyone who might not be in college or who goes to a college that has a different system. Yeah,
but Sean decided that he was going to apply to the upperclassmen LLC for the Honors College. He was also going to apply for RA, so in case he didn't get RA, he has a room in the upperclassmen Honors LLC, but RA is obviously his plan. And then that left the double room itself open for Michael and Alavi, and we'll detail how they got there.
Enter us.
So our original plan was we were either going to take a double, or a friend of mine from my neighborhood from like when I grew up, he was considering transferring to our school from his school, which is out of state. And if he did, we were considering getting a suite with him and one of his friends. So a suite is like two doubles and like one connected room. However, in the end, he chose not to transfer, and this kind of created a good opportunity for us to move into this apartment. Mm-hmm. That's about the gist of it.
That is the gist of it.
Yeah.
So it's getting close to application time, and the way applications work at our university is that they ration it by credits. Yes. So if you have more credits, you get an earlier application slot. And I had the most credits, so I had the earliest time. So I got to make like our housing group per se, that I would sign up for everyone.
Yes.
To get this apartment. So come application time, we were told by our RA
selection time, because the way that works is once you obviously get your application accepted, which is mandatory. They say that you will get housing as a sophomore.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and selection comes up, and the way that it works is you are emailed a specific time that your selection will open up, and then you go on the university housing site. And you go and pick the very space that you will be staying in on a site, and everyone else is there fighting with you.
Yeah.
So we were told from the get-go,
yes,
by our RA,
all the sources,
every source told us this. It's a little wordy of a rule, but bear with me. If you were to apply for an apartment as a group, your group would have to fill the apartment.
In order to keep it. Like, there were no randoms. You have to be able to fill the entire space and no more.
Yes. So our group, as a group of 6, would get a 6-person apartment because we would fill the entire space. If we were a group of 4, we would not get the 6-person apartment.
And I think this is a good point to mention that we applied for something called gender inclusive housing.
Yes.
Just because 2 members of our group, G and B, are female, and they were going to have their own room, so it's not like they would be sharing a room with us. But this comes into play later, but it also meant we did have an earlier selection time compared to other groups. But this will come into play very, very impactfully in a minute. Continue, Michael.
Yes. So it's selection day. I am attempting to get us all rooms in this apartment.
We're all standing in the common area around Michael and his laptop watching this go down.
And I click on the last open 6-person apartment in the building that we're looking at.
We'll call it Building N.
Building N. Yep, and so only 5 of the 6 beds are open.
Yes.
Which is very curious.
Well, actually, we had gone through the list. So you when you get into the selection for one apartment, it gives you a list of all the people and you pick the bed that they'll be staying in. Mm-hmm. And so the A room has 2 beds, the B room has 1 bed, the C room has 1 bed, and the D room has 2 beds. And Michael and Alavi got assigned to A and B, and then I got B, Jay got C, yeah. And then we had Gigi in
B
in D A.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
And then we thought that the list was broken because we couldn't scroll down far enough to select DB to put B in there. And we called housing thinking hey, your site's broken.
Because this was the first time they were trying a new system, so we thought it might have been a bug or something.
Yeah, and we thought
that's understandable.
And we thought that rule that they told us all of those times was true.
Mm-hmm. But sure enough, it was just one person camping out in a 6-person apartment.
Yes.
And housing said, yeah, they can do that.
So this rule was just not being enforced.
Yes, it just didn't matter according to the housing office. And keep in mind, Bonar already told us that wasn't just kind of just talking out of nowhere. The RA works for the housing department. So they were told by someone in housing, mind you, that this would be the case. This would be the rule. However, in this situation, it just kind of wasn't. And we think that might have been because we were in gender inclusive because it's a special population, but we just genuinely have no idea.
So about an hour goes by.
We're freaking out.
We are freaking out just trying to grab rooms because usually the application slots are divided up in half-hour chunks. So my half hour to apply has already been gone. I am now competing with another new group of people to get more rooms.
Yeah, my batch was done as well because I was, I believe, an hour after Michael's.
Yes. So eventually we just grabbed as many rooms as we could that could fit all 6 of us, simply because we couldn't get that apartment and we couldn't get any other apartments in any style that would have accommodated our group.
There were 2 other buildings, Building R and Building P, just for context, that had these kind of rooms.
Building R doesn't.
Oh, Building R doesn't. But there was another room, Building P, which had this room. We couldn't find anything there either.
Well, they have 6-person apartments, but not the same style.
Yeah, not the exact same style, but 6-person capacity.
So eventually, Alavi and I got 2 separate beds in the apartments that we had been trying to get in this whole time. The original.
Yes, 2 beds.
2 beds.
Not in
the same room. Unfortunately, because a couple other people had already jumped into the room.
Yes.
You can just see that the bed is taken too. You can't see anything about the person. You can't even see the questionnaire.
Yeah.
You can't.
You're supposed to answer a 10 question little survey about your personality to see if they make a good roommate. And it doesn't even show you their answers to that questionnaire. You can't see anything about this individual, just that they exist.
It's just a free-for-all, basically.
Yes, it was.
Why did we take that questionnaire? You could see it on the application for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But why was it necessary to take that again if you can't even use it anyway?
Exactly. That's unexpected tangent.
And then Alex and Jay got 2 neighboring singles in a completely different building.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was a suite, so they were linked together with a bathroom. Yes.
Okay.
So we made out the best after that whole terrible situation.
Yeah.
But it was on the 5th floor of another building, and the elevators
in that building don't work well.
God.
We'll call it Building H.
Yeah.
But the worst part is B and G did not have beds.
They were just in the wind.
They were in the winds. We could not get them a room together.
Yes.
And they floated the idea past us during this very stressful time that they would simply freelance it themselves. So rather than continue searching and waste more time trying to find them a room, I simply gave the 4 of us rooms and left them to the wind.
Yeah, we submitted. And then the selection system completely broke after that and wouldn't let them pick their housing because they were still in our group, yet we had already submitted.
Yes.
So they were just kind of screwed.
Yes. And now coming back to the second tier of screwing, Michael and I. So we were in that original room in Building N.
Yes.
However, Michael got the single, and I was in our double, the double we would have had, with a girl. And I know we applied for gender-inclusive housing, but I just personally would not exactly be comfortable sharing a room with a girl just because things just like changing and just general guy stuff
It's
would
just
be
inconvenient.
it would be a bit inconvenient. Like, I'm not against it, and if people do it, that's cool if it's comfortable for them, but it's just not something I am personally comfortable with, like in terms of sharing a sleeping space.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Because obviously we were originally sharing an apartment with 2 girls.
But like they
but
have their
it's
own
just-
room
yeah, they
in
have
the
They have their
apartment.
own room,
Yeah, they have
and
their
then
own
that's where they are. Right. Like, I don't mind sharing the other living space, but just like that sleeping area.
Yeah.
That's not a place, especially if it's someone I don't know. Sean.
This is somebody completely
Sean,
random.
the hopeful RA. He does know her, and I heard she's nice, but that's beside the point for me because it's not something I am personally comfortable with.
And then also your parents were very not okay
my
with it as well.
parents were super not okay with it. Yeah, they were very not okay with that. And so, in short,
It was bad.
yeah, to summarize, G and B were in the wind. Alex and Jay had a suite. Michael was paying a lot more for a single, and I was in a double with someone I didn't know that was the opposite gender of mine. So this sort of just kind of progressed through the week. I think over the weekend. Did it go over the weekend?
It was over the weekend, yeah.
Went
It
over
took
the
a while
weekend.
for housing to get back to us.
Well, because that happened on Friday. Well, on Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes, Thursday.
Thursday, well, actually, before we go to Thursday, on the day of selection, we told our RIO this. She was kind of freaking out a little bit, and she told us to write an email. Now, I chose to write the email because Michael was in a very not good mood. He was very upset.
I was quite upset.
I was very upset too. I wanted to know where the housing office was right then and there because I was going to go deck someone.
Well, I'm generally good at keeping my head somewhat cool during stressful situations, so I went in, I wrote an email. I type it up, I send it to him, I pray, hope, what's what, okay? The next day, Saturday, I don't type up email again, but I decide to send it again. I figured I'm going to keep bugging them until they get back to us. So I think I sent it back. I just kind of forwarded it to them like in a loop. I did that 3 or 4 times. Then on Thursday, like some guardian angels, right before I was about to go in for a quiz, I checked my email really quick, just, want to make sure anything new came in. I see an email from the housing department. They tell us they found a place in building B, or not, no, building P. And, of course, during this, I just kind of take a rapid screenshot, send it to our group chat, just put guys with 3 exclamation points, right? And then I have to take my quiz.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of class at this point, and you called me, and I
Yes,
just felt my
after
phone
my
going
quiz.
crazy in my pocket.
Yeah.
I'm just like, who is calling me in
And
class?
So the reason, now, in the email what it says was, it found a room in building P. It was 3 doubles, so Alex and Jay are currently sharing. It was 3 doubles, and they needed our names, room assignments, and student IDs by 5 p.m. that day. This was around, I think, 2 o'clock.
This was round 2, yeah.
Yeah, around 2 o'clock. So at this point, I'm like, oh crap, this is happening. I have a quiz. So I send what I can, send it, tell the group chat, just the brief rundown. I take my quiz. Get on my quiz. First thing I do, whip my phone out. I say, all right, guys, here's the deal. This is what it's like. I need your student IDs as soon as possible. Right? So I believe first it was B that sent me her student ID, then G, and then I called Alex. He was in class, right? And he was saying like his phone freaked out. I think I hit him on Snapchat, WhatsApp, and I called him on WhatsApp, and then he finally texted me back, right? Gave me a student ID. He was cool with it. Then Michael did, after some coercion. I believe him and B were in the same class, right?
Yeah, our teacher at the time is just really, really anal about us not using phones in class.
Yes.
Kevin Wolf is too. He yelled at somebody else for trying to take a picture of the board so that he could copy it down before he moved the slide. And
Oh yeah, and this is an interesting little side tangent. My professor for one of my computer science classes, I'll call him Jonathan Olive. That's his name. Jonathan Olive, in a computer science class, mind you, a class about computer science, bans the use of computers. Anything, smartphones, laptops, TI-84, nothing. No computers. Jonathan Olive, what a legend. And so going on, yeah. Michael finally responds, and there's one more person who has to respond. I draft an email, put it in my notes, put everyone's names, their allotment, their student ID. And so this is around, I think, around 2 o'clock exactly, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sending out some texts, right? Trying to get everyone. There's only one person left, Jay. We try texting him, calling him. We told our RA. She texted him. No response. I have a test at 3 o'clock. So I'm kind of freaking out because there's that 5 o'clock deadline. I have the test going in. Like, it's a high stakes situation.
It is.
So 2:45 on the dot, Jay gets out of class, sends me a student ID. And like that, I send the email, and this just feeling of intense relief floods my body, and I feel like elevated.
That's pretty poetic.
In us now having a 6-person apartment where we're all together. And that's how that madness concluded, basically. And now, as of now, we're set. Originally, we were going to have to, if we were at our original configuration, we would have to wait until what is called early summer by the housing department. Namely...
And by that, they mean mid-spring.
Yes, they said late April. They said we get an email for room reassignments. Luckily, we probably won't have to mess around with that now because we have a place. We could still try to go for a room building end, but at least for now,
at this point,
we have something.
We're all together in one room. I think that's the best we can hope for.
Yeah. And I think that's how that situation resolved. It was wild.
It was.
Like, I remember for that first day, like that Friday, I was in a mood. Like, I was feeling all sorts of things. I was really upset, and that was a rough that was a rough time. Like, I was really upset because for me, like, it takes me a while. It's like this for a lot of things for me. I find it takes me a while to kind of realize something's happened. Like, it takes me a while before I feel gratitude for something. Like, someone gives me a gift, it takes me a second before I can like actually appreciate it, and it lasts. So like with that housing thing, the moment it hit me, I was mad for the rest of the day. Like, I just held that, and that's just how I am. And that was rough. That was rough.
But we have a room.
And we're together.
Best friends forever, am I right,
yes.
guys?
So, coming this fall, the Sleepdrunk apartment tour, which will not happen because we don't want to dox ourselves. I guess with that wrapped up, let's kind of move into the last segment of the podcast, which is our general discussion topic. And this one's going to be about just some of our favorite things, so you guys can get to know us as hosts better. You know, some of our favorite items, movies, beverages. Don't let that
dropping hints there, Alavi?
Nah, I just might be. So, who'd like to take the first stab at their favorite things?
I think I'll go first.
All right, take it away.
So a few of my favorite things. My favorite color is yellow.
Okay.
Little unique choice there. I really love Cheerwine. It's one of my favorite sodas.
For those of you who don't know, Cheerwine is a soda that's kind of regional to like the Mid-Atlantic South region.
The South, yeah.
It's more of a southern thing. It's a good soda. I don't like it that much, but it's good.
Yep. My favorite movies are Star Wars. Huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. Love everything Star Wars. Even The Last Jedi. I quite liked The Last Jedi, actually.
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it too. Like, people talk crap. The casino scene wasn't necessarily needed to be there.
It wasn't necessarily needed, but overall, I think it is a great movie that if you give it time to unpack and sit, holds up very well.
It wasn't the best movie, wasn't the worst movie either.
It's certainly much better than Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
I hate sand. It's rough and coarse and irritating, and it gets everywhere. That's a line.
that sand does do that. Sand tends to get everywhere.
Let's see, what else? What else do I like, guys?
Music? Yeah,
music. Yeah, that's true.
Tastes.
I'm really into 80s pop. 80s pop and alternative. U2, INXS, Duran Duran. Those sorts of bands.
Basically, he's a dad.
Yeah, music your dad would like.
Yeah.
That's my mom, because she's a Gen X.
My mom's like that. My mom loves Duran Duran.
But if your mom or dad is a baby boomer, then not really so much.
Maybe not.
They might be more into AC/DC.
AC/DC
I still quite like AC/DC.
I love AC/DC.
Hell's Bells never gets old.
Yeah. I mean, there's the classics, like, Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell's nice, but Shoot to Thrill's better, in my opinion.
Like I said, I'm not a huge AC/DC person, but I do enjoy them. Alex, do you want to...
Yeah, I'll go next, because yours is a larger segment.
Yeah, it will be. Plans.
Let's see. Favorite color is green. My favorite drink by far is sweet iced tea. You can't go wrong.
Alex does love him some good old
sweet
fashioned
iced tea.
Southern iced tea on the back of the porch in the rocking chair, sipping away.
I don't know. I don't see Alex as a rocking chair kind of guy.
Alex is rocky. He's a DX racer kind of guy.
I'm a rocking chair kind of guy.
Are you?
Yes.
I mean, I know you're a Walmart chair kind of guy.
But no, like I'm a very chill dude. That's just who I am. Like I would just love to chill out on my rocking chair on my porch, drinking me some sweet iced tea.
Or you'll be at your desk, your DX racer with your 3
No,
monitors.
I would never own a DX racer.
Outside Cracker
Do you have a
Barrel?
racer?
Playing some checkers.
No, because Cracker Barrel is exactly what it says.
Shut up, Cracker.
Alavi, did you just say that?
It's a reference. If you get it, tweet us at Sleepdrunk PC because it's a pretty obscure reference.
That's
It's a
so
reference.
obscure. Nobody's gonna get that.
I know at least one person that will.
Yeah,
person
me,
that will.
Michael.
No, I know someone who will. But yeah, that's a reference. If you got it, tweet us. We'd love to talk about it.
Let's see. I'm not really that much into cinema. I don't really have favorites. Like I have things that I like and things that I dislike, but I don't pick favorites. That's just not what I do. There's no point in it.
But like, isn't there
The only
something-
point of picking favorites is to say that's my favorite. Like think about it. What other instance is that in any way relevant?
Well, I mean,
Because it gives like a little defining trait to your personality.
Yeah.
Because like if it's something unique, like the music you like, that says a little bit about you.
Okay, true. I guess
also-
the music that I like generally, I always like my I listen to almost everything. Modern country.
Modern country is trash. Changed my mind.
I don't really listen to that.
Now,
much.
older country, I can get down with that. Older country is there's some talent there, but modern
has
country
sense.
it's the same trash about it's what I call hick hop. It's
That's a statement, Alex.
I mean, it's pretty true.
but I mean I listen to anything like my Spotify. My daily mix playlists are just they're just everything. Like there's no flow there, but my fallback is alternative.
He's an alternative guy.
I love me some good
So
alternative.
some Weezer.
Weezer's a good
He
band,
loves Weezer.
but like I have Rap Caviar on my phone. I have the Blast in the Ass from the Past playlist, which is just good old classics. What's some other stuff I have on there?
You've got your edgy alternative playlists from like 2013.
Yeah, I do have alternative playlists that like date to certain time periods. So like I have the 2013-14 playlist, and then I have like, you know, stuff that like more segmented down as it goes later, because like I'm a very organized person. So I don't know why I said A, because like I'm not really going anywhere else with this, but because I'm a very organized person, I group it down, and for some reason I'm weird and I like to like organize my music based on when I listen to it, because that's the like kind of memories and whatnot it'll bring back. So that's why I do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Something maybe I wish I did.
I do that sometimes.
Also, I just a little thing here that's very useful. I wish I started this so much earlier. And I guess Google Play Music wasn't compatible with it, and that's what I always used to listen before I finally subscribed to Spotify earlier
Spotify's
this
great.
year. I linked my Spotify account to Last.fm, and I scrabble every song that I play into Last.fm, and I can go see what I listen to when on like at a certain time every day. And I can like, because I bought Spotify in June, I can go all the way back to June and see when I've listened to any song.
What is Scrabble?
Scrabble is their term for basically copying down the fact that you listen to a song.
But you just use the term like transcribe.
But that is what they
record.
call it. They call it Scrabbles.
I despise that.
It's unique. I'll give them that.
It is very unique because
Quirky and random.
you just have to get to know it. And transitioning into Alavi's favorites.
So I guess before we get into the thing that was inspired partially by the segment, I'm a bit of an eclectic person. Like some of my favorite things. My favorite color is green. I like a lighter green, but I like green. I'm also the kind of person that listens to a lot of different music, and I'm myself a musician. I've been playing the saxophone for almost 10 years, actually. In October, it'll be 10 years. And so because of that, I listen to a lot of jazz. Like, I love John Coltrane, Art Pepper, Cannonball Adderley. Who else? Sonny Rollins is great. Also some contemporary people. Chuck Mangione. I love Chuck Mangione. Or Mangione, depending on how you pronounce it. I've been listening to some Janik Wasdala lately, too. But I also listen to Travis Scott. Greta Van Fleet is a really nice rising rock band. Led Zeppelin's also really... Like, Led Zeppelin, they're the greatest rock band of all time.
I don't know. I think there's some room for debate there.
Yeah, there's some room for debate. I'm not saying Led Zeppelin's bad. I'm just saying there's room for debate.
Well, Spotify's This Is playlist says they're the greatest rock band of all time. So
Spotify says everyone's like the greatest band of all time.
fair, well, one of the greatest bands of all time.
Oh, that is certain.
Yeah, is Led Zeppelin one of the greatest bands of all time?
There you go.
I love their work. D-Bangs and Young Gravy, they're great. I love those guys.
True poets.
Like meme rap. People...
D-Bangs is one of those things. Like, I was just kind of annoyed, honestly, whenever you guys would play that, and then Don't Tell Me.
Don't Tell Me is a collaboration piece between the rapper Baby No Money,
spelled BB no $,
and D-Bangs. It's off of Baby No Money's latest album, Baby Steps. You can find it on Spotify. And the song is better than it has any right to be.
It's so good. It's a great song.
The beat is phenomenal.
The way they work in that beat, like, it's really good.
It's a really good song.
It's a great song.
And it's written by D-Bangs. Like, it's low-key trash.
D-Bangs called his own stuff trash. Well, and I guess I also listen... I listen to not a lot of country. Like, I may have a couple specific country songs I like Country Roads.
Everyone listens to country
That's
roads.
a great song.
That might as well be pop.
Yeah, fair. And also... Early Taylor Swift music is great. Changed my mind. I love when I was in 6th grade, I was the one boy that loved Taylor Swift music.
I mean, You Belong With Me is a true musical masterpiece. To this day, I still have great karaoke sessions.
Where's Bree's knife? I'm going to cut my ears off.
It's right here. Here, you want it?
Thank you. Yes.
Well, and yeah, so I also Green Day. I love Green Day. I know Michael doesn't like Green Day. I love Green Day. One of my favorite possessions is my saxophone because I've had it for a long time. It's my baby. I use it a lot because I just love it. I feel like musicians, they tend to get very attached to their instruments. So it's kind of like a partner that's been there. All of your gigs, all your shows, the good times, the bad times, the sublime moments that come with musicianship. It's there for all of that. It's like a friend.
It's an extension of you.
And I really like that. Some of my favorite movies, See, I actually don't watch a lot of movies. I'm not a big movie guy, but The Dark Knight's great. That is a wonderful movie.
Amazing movie.
It's so good. Kimi no Nawa, it is a Japanese anime film. It is incredible and got snubbed for an Oscar. Changed my mind. Changed the entire community's mind. It's a fantastic movie. Actually, I've heard the English version's quite good, but just I feel like as a matter of being true to how it was intended, that if you don't mind reading subtitles, it's worth watching the Japanese version. But it is probably one of the best things I've ever seen. Favorite anime, since I might as well go there. Recently, Darling in the Franxx was really good. All time, I love Bleach because that's what got me into all this. Fullmetal Alchemist is really good. Is the Order of a Rabbit? If those of you know, you know. If you don't, I'm not a pedophile. Let's see.
That's just an odd statement to have to hear for the people who don't know.
It's kind of a meme. It's an anime meme.
Because I have no idea what you're saying.
It's an anime community meme. And now we're gonna go to favorite beverage, which is inspiring its own unique segment on the show today. My favorite beverage is sparkling water. Right? It seems like a really dumb thing. And my two co-hosts think it's stupid.
This man has an addiction. He drinks a carton a day.
No, that is not true. Maybe 3 to 4 cans a day.
3 to 4. Try 5.
Okay, 5 was that, I had 5 that one snow day because I had nothing else to do but just sit around and drink sparkling water. And there was that one night where I was studying and, I just kind of needed it.
And you just had 6. You just kind of needed the nothing that is in sparkling water, so you had 6.
Bubbles.
There's nothing there to need.
The bubbles, the feeling, the refreshment. Those of you who get it, get it.
So those of you who are addicted get it?
Those people who, enjoy things with finer taste.
They put crack in those. Changed my mind.
They probably do. I don't care. I love it. Well, so that inspired a bit. Alavi's sparkling water review. So I went out to the store and bought 6 different varieties of sparkling water. Alex is gonna put them all in a cup. I'm gonna leave the room, and I'm gonna find out which one I like best.
He's gonna find out which one he likes best, and we're gonna see if this man has had enough sparkling water to tell the difference between different brands.
Yeah. Well, I know there's one I'll be able to tell, but so we picked up LaCroix lemon. They're all gonna be lemon flavored. So if you want flavors for additions for different flavors, let me know. Tweet us at Sleepdrunk PC. We have LaCroix lemon, Waterloo lemon. Waterloo's like a newer brand in sparkling water marketplace. Like LaCroix's kind of always been there.
Oh, are they breaking onto the scene? Are they shaking up the sparkling water market?
They are. They use like a different method of carbonation called cold force carbonation, and they tend to have like truer fruit flavors when compared to like LaCroix. LaCroix's a little more faint. Waterloo's a bit more boldness. And then we have Bubbly, which is a slightly cheaper sparkling water brand that was put onto the market by Pepsi. It's quite good. I've had a couple cans. It's definitely it doesn't have the same complexities as LaCroix, and I know Michael and Alex hate themselves right now, so I'm gonna drag this on just so they feel pain. So it's not as complex flavor-wise, but it's still good. Then we have a brand I just kind of didn't know about called Sanavi, I think. They use those like weird like ice, that like drink you find in grocery stores called like ice something. It's like that long tube bottle. They use those. I just kind of saw it and picked it up. I thought I might as well. Then we have Deer Park Sparkling, which actually they have very strong flavors. So their flavors are quite strong.
Sparkling ice. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, sparkling ice. I think it's maybe the same company. We have what was I saying? Deer Park Sparkling. They have far bolder flavors. And they also come in bottles, so I see that might impact the flavor somehow. And last, we have a sparkling water staple, Perrier. To be fair, I dislike Perrier. I don't like it that much. I also think the glass bottle is just kind of unnecessary, but it's there. And of course, these are all lemon flavored.
Well, it is, but their thing is that they ship the water from France.
I don't care if the water's French.
I don't care either, but like that's their thing.
Yeah,
it's like somehow fancier.
That is their thing.
Just like the Fiji water is from Fiji. But
sorry, the Fiji water's crap. Well, so at this point, I'm going to leave the room, and Alex is going.
You have something about the bottles and cans. So I was looking this up when I was infatuated with Mexican Coke, even though I'm not even that much of a soda person. So apparently, plastic bottles keep carbonation not very well when compared to aluminum cans.
Because they are porous.
Yes, and that is why. Because they don't make as great of a seal.
Yeah, because that Sanavi did look a little bit flat. I feel like it might have been on the shelf for a while.
Because, like, it's not a well-known brand. So it probably just isn't bought very often.
Who knows? We'll find out. So I'm going to leave the room at this point, and Alex is going to pour some beverages in cups labeled A through F. Okay, I am re-entering the room, and before me, I see many cups. Okay.
So, Alavi, before you, we have cups A, B, C, D, E, and F.
If by E you mean D scribbled out E.
Yeah, Alex
messed up
labeling that cup. It's okay.
Yeah, things happen. So on the first glance, we're gonna kind of like lean over. I think I can tell which one's Perrier, just because of the fineness of the bubbles. Perrier has a lot much very fine kind of bubble because it's a natural spring water. So that's my guess. I might be wrong. So I guess I'll start with A. I did cleanse my palate with some normal water.
So you're saying that's Perrier?
I'll guess. I might be wrong.
Okay.
Let it be known that
I'll find out after I taste.
Alavi is guessing A for Perrier?
No, D.
D for
Well, I'll taste it. If I tell it's a Perrier.
Oh, so you're thinking D is Perrier?
I'm considering it. Well, I'm going to start with this one. Let's give it a sip.
Oh, I left the fridge open.
You did.
Right away, this is a familiar taste. I'm guessing it's one of the canned ones. That's my guess. It doesn't taste like bubbly. It does have an aftertaste. On the back of the mouth, I think this is Waterloo. My gut's telling me A is Waterloo. I might be wrong, but there's like an interesting taste on the back. Like I said, I'm not a professional taster, so I could very well be wrong on all of these, but there's definitely... Actually, is it Perrier? It could be Perrier. Hold on.
Is it?
I'm not sure. It's either Waterloo or Perrier.
He's doing the lip smacking. He's over there like...
you gotta aerate it. Also,
you gotta warm it up.
Drive it up. That top note.
Invert the cup.
Alright, I'll just dump it all over myself. A is not terrible. Actually, no. I am getting... It's that minerally taste.
Actually, that's what we should do. Rate them all 1 out of 10.
I'm gonna rank
So is
them.
Waterloo your final guess?
No, let me rank them.
You want to rank them?
Yeah, like first, second, third, like that.
Okay.
I feel I have to taste the other ones before I can make a decisive go on this one. But I'm feeling either Waterloo or Perrier. Although I do know that like Perrier has very fine bubbles, which I'm not getting out of this.
So your guess is Waterloo.
One of the two. I'm not sure.
Or Perrier.
Yeah.
Are you equal 50-50?
Yeah, roughly. All right, moving on to B. Large bubbles, very aggressive bubbling. Strong smell. This is... I know this flavor.
Well, it's lemon like all of the others.
It is lemon. It is lemon. I'm feeling LaCroix on this one. Feeling LaCroix. I know that. I think I know how LaCroix lemon tastes. Once again, I'm probably going to be completely wrong. I might get one right. But, yeah, this feels very LaCroix to me. So...
Is Croix your final guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other ones that you want to throw in there, or just Croix?
I feel like it's one of the canned ones. Okay, it could be Deer Park. Could be Deer Park.
Okay.
Could be Deer Park.
So is it 50-50 both?
Yeah, 50-50. Because like it does have that bubble density that you get in Deer Park, the bubble size, and it is a very bold flavor. But that one's also not bad. I think A had an aftertaste, which I'm not a huge fan of, so I think I'll rate B higher than A for now. Moving on to C. C's actually quite flat. All things considered, not a ton of bubble movement, just a couple sitting at the bottom, lazy floating to the top. Not a lot on the smell either. Very little smell.
Well, it's fair because if there's not a lot of bubbles coming up.
Oh, that tastes like aspirin.
I don't actually know what aspirin tastes like, but that's an interesting.
That's an aspirin. That's the taste of mineral. That's the taste of mineral water. Which tells me very strongly, unless Sanavi is a mineral water. Well, it does say sparkling spring water. It could be Sanavi, but I don't know. This one's kind of throwing me for a loop because I'm getting that mineral water taste.
You're not saying it's familiar, and all the other ones you said.
It feels very Perrier. Like the feeling on the side of the tongue feels very Perrier. Because I've drinking a fair amount. Michael hates this. He hates this.
I hate
Alavi,
this too.
you sound so fake posh right now.
I know. I'm embracing it. I'll embrace it.
I'm gonna line these up because you don't have them lined up.
Well, no, because it was ranking.
Oh,
Yeah,
ranking.
I put B above A. This feels very Perrier. I don't like Perrier that much, but this feels very Perrier. Although I'm not sure. Once again, I'm probably full of shit. I acknowledge I am full of shit. That's two more on the swear jar. This one feels Perrier. I'm putting this as a solid, like, fourth. Just because I feel like it won't rank that high. Moving on to D. This one with the fine bubbles.
All right, so your final guess on that one?
I'm feeling that's Perrier Sanavi.
50-50?
More towards Perrier.
More towards Perrier?
Yeah. So this one, very little carbonation, which leads me to think... Or very fine carbonation, I should say. Not a lot of bubble movement. I have to actuate the bottom to get bubbles come to the top. Going in for the taste. Now, I haven't had this before, which leads me to think this is Sanavi because it's a very light flavor, very back of the tongue flavor. I hate myself.
We hate you too.
This could also be LaCroix, because flatter LaCroix does have a bit less taste.
That's kind of implying that LaCroix had any taste to begin with, and I don't like that.
It doesn't, so.
Michael, you're a prostitute.
I resent that.
Not necessarily bad. No, but not much there. It's not terrible, though. I mean, you guys probably Sanavi on this one.
So that's Sanavi's your final guess, or you want to throw Croix in there too?
Let's get let's get the final guesses like after he finishes.
Yeah.
Just because he's got to go through them all. It's like...
Now, this is very aggressive bubbling, which leads me to think this is Waterloo, because Waterloo is known for having they use a technique called cold force carbonation. No idea what that means, but it just knows it has very aggressive bubbling. So...
It's known that gases are held in liquids more densely if the liquid is cold.
And also TDSs too. Total dissolved solids. That can impact as well. So I guess I'll find this one. This is very aggressive, though.
Little AP Chem knowledge for you.
Oh, that feels... That's definitely not a... I know it's not Perrier. That's not a Perrier feeling. But I'm feeling... I think Waterloo?
Little slurp.
Yeah,
there.
the way that hits the palate, like it fluffs up a little bit. I'm feeling Waterloo. It's not bad. It's quite good, but and also has the taste of Waterloo plain, just a little bit. And I'm a big fan of the Waterloo plain. I'm gonna place E as Waterloo. I think I'll kick it to third. I'm gonna slide that in
So you
there.
like A better than E?
I mean, it's good, but it's not B, and I did quite like B. Although I think I'll do one more round after I try all of them, kind of revisit the flavors. I hate it too, don't worry. I intentionally set it up so it'll be as prick as possible. Now, this is also very aggressive bubbling. I know Deer Park Sparkle also has a relatively aggressive
So
bubbling.
which one do you have now?
This is F. This is F. So I guess I'll just go for it. Whoa, that smells like cleaning, like a cleaning thing. But yeah, that smells something I would like clean with, like some Pine Sol or something. I do remember reading that Waterloo did have a very Pine Sol-esque smell, which leads me to believe it's that. I'm honestly not sure with these because I'm not trained in tasting, but I'm not a huge fan of it.
Trained in tasting?
It's a profession.
Neither are
It's a
trained tasters, Alavi.
That is true. No, they do.
There's been multiple studies
But they do undergo training at the very least of some sort.
Tasters can't tell fine wine from cheap wine.
Or like other things though, like ice cream. Warm it up. Drive it up.
Aerate it.
That top note. That cream. Drive it up. Sweetness.
That's 10.
It's a 10. Now, this is a very, very strong smell. I'm not a huge fan of that, personally. I'll give C a taste so I can come back to it, but I don't know where to put this one. This one's kind of weird. I remember hearing that Waterloo does smell like Pine Sol, so I think this might also be... I have no idea what the actual branding, if I'm going to be honest.
Isn't that the whole point of this segment?
No, the whole point is to
Alavi?
see which one I like the most.
I thought it was free to guess the brands.
No, it's, for me to see, it's the review. I want to see which one
Also
I
to
like
guess
the
the
most.
brands, but like
But that's an
mostly
auxiliary
it's
thing.
it's to help Alavi find his favorite. And
My new
also-
daily driver.
Oh God, I hated that.
And now they can make fun of me. But this is a very, very
Are you
strong
gonna take it
smell.
for a drive?
Yeah, I'm gonna,
You're gonna hop in your Jeep and enjoy the sun. Hop in your
That's a
hop in
deep
your
cut.
hop in your
Passat.
hop in your F and enjoy the sun.
Okay, I guess I'll just kind of like... I'm just gonna place this outside of all of them, honestly. That one's just kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
So you don't like it?
I'm
Or
neutral
just, you
towards
really
it.
don't know?
I just don't... It's weird. It's just kind of weird.
But like you have to rank it.
I'm ranking it as an ordinal number. Or a cardinal number. There. It is a cardinal number. These are ordinal, that's cardinal. It's a different type of number.
So what you're saying is when you think of a sparkling lemon beverage, you would not even consider that.
I don't think I would go... Here's the thing. I found it, I guess, enjoyable, but I'm not sure it would be my first pick. So I guess, I think I'll stick it a nice even... Let me try E and see who's getting knocked down.
Interesting that you bumped it all the way up to third, even though you originally put it outside.
I put it outside because it's just kind of like... It feels removed from the other kinds of sparkling water.
Well, you have to rank them all.
Alright, this one's going after E, and I'm going to place C at the bottom.
So it's at fourth.
Yeah, it's at fourth. I'm probably still going to buy Waterloo because I like their can art.
That's just sad. May I
Okay,
just
no,
interject?
they have very nice can art.
But like, why does that matter?
Because I like...
It's about the taste. It is a drink, so you're consuming it for the taste.
How does the can art impact the flavor
This
and the
man
taste
told
of the
me that he
beverage?
thought Bubbly was wasteful because they left the aluminum filled in on their opener
Yes,
tab.
that is
And then
true.
he also says that he dislikes the can art and would prefer to not buy it because of that. I find this disgusting.
Because to be fair, they do use a different kind of paint. I don't have time for that. I should be spitting these, honestly. That's the proper thing to do, but I'm not doing that.
Don't spit them.
I'll just spit them in your face.
I would spit it back. I would gladly put it in my mouth and spit it back in your face.
You want me to spit? You want me to spit in your mouth? You want to spit in your mouth, Alex?
No homo. Yes, so I can spit it in your
you're a
face.
freak. I mean, hey, Alex is a freak like that. That might be one of his favorite things.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Okay.
We'll find
Don't
out
judge you.
next episode where I spit in Alavi's face.
Okay.
So let's read off the final rankings.
So we're going B, E, A, F, D, C, and I just kind of want to know what I got. Want to know what the ranking is.
But
All right.
what are your guesses for the brands?
I forgot what my guesses were.
Alex,
So-
could you read them all?
So I'll read them all off. Alavi thinks that B is Deer Park. He thinks that E is Waterloo. He thinks that C is... Or no, A, because A came next. He thinks A is Bubbly. He thinks F is Sanavi. He thinks D is also Sanavi. And he thinks C is Perrier.
I guess, yeah, maybe I'll pour Sanavi twice
That would make
to bamboozle me.
That
I
would make
should have done that.
DRF LaCroix.
What?
That would make DRF LaCroix because you never guessed LaCroix.
I never did guess LaCroix. Which were the two that were both Sanavi?
DNF.
D and F.
D would be LaCroix then.
D is LaCroix.
Because I know LaCroix does not smell like that. I'd rate LaCroix pretty low. Although, like I said, I have no idea on the guess. I'm just kind of pulling them out of my ass.
All right, so you said your favorite one was B.
Which is...
LaCroix. Your favorite is LaCroix.
Huh. Well, just look at that. I'm a Croix boy.
Next in line is Bubbly.
Okay.
After that comes Deer Park.
Okay.
I could have guessed that, honestly. I figured those would be your top three.
Yeah. I do quite like Deer Park Sparkling.
After that was Waterloo. You placed Waterloo. Actually, I couldn't have guessed that because I would have put Waterloo as second for you.
Because here's the thing. I have heard that the Waterloo Lemon particularly isn't that good. Like, out of the flavors, I've heard the Waterloo Lemon is the worst one. So I think that might just be like... Because I've heard it just... Everyone says that the Waterloo Lemon is the worst Waterloo flavor.
And then D was Sanavi, which is a flavor I don't think you've ever had before.
I have never had it.
And you placed it above Perrier.
Because I hate Perrier.
Just you just recognize the taste and hate
I just
it because
don't like Perrier.
because it is what it is. Like you don't think it's good, or you just don't like. You just dislike
I will drink it.
It's fake.
It's not that it's fake. I just dislike the taste of mineral water personally. It just leaves a weird feeling on my tongue. And I could tell like it just felt Perrier, and I don't like Perrier.
All right.
So how correct was I?
So you.
Well, what's my score
you guessed Perrier.
Yes.
You could tell Perrier was Perrier.
Good. I figured I would be able to
Originally, you thought Sanavi was Sanavi, but then you later said no. Just leave it as a question mark. You thought Deer Park was Bubbly, and you thought Waterloo was also Sanavi. Well, okay, you thought Waterloo was Waterloo at first, and then you moved on to Sanavi.
Hey, look at that! I actually had some decent gut guesses.
Huh. You should have stuck with your gut because you had better answers with your gut.
Well, okay,
especially the Waterloo. Yeah. I found it interesting that you picked up on the Pine Sol. It was F.
F. Yeah, I could tell. I heard that. Like, I heard that Waterloo smells like Pine Sol. Like, smell it.
It does. It smells a lot like Pine Sol. It smells like I should be using that to clean my desk.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, people say that. And I've heard that's why it's ranked kind of low. It's because it smells like Pine Sol.
I've never heard anybody say that.
I've never heard anybody say that either.
It's about Waterloo. Smell it.
Because I also don't follow this community.
It smells like Crystal Light.
It smells like lemon rinds.
It smells like Crystal Light. Yo, have you ever had Crystal Light before?
I have had Crystal
Light. That really crappy powdered lemonade.
My mom's favorite flavor, she drinks this every night for dinner, is raspberry ice Crystal Light.
Ugh, that's like the worst.
She loves raspberry ice.
I hate Crystal Light. It's just like crappy. It's just crappy lemonade.
This episode was sponsored by no one. If you would like to sponsor the show, please get into contact with us. You can find our emails on our website at sleepdrunk.net. You can follow us or get into contact with us through Twitter at sleepdrunkpc and follow our Instagram also at sleepdrunkpc.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Sleep Drunk. Remember that the first person or people to guess the song of the day on any of our social media or via email have a chance at a shout out in the next episode.
The Sleep Drunk podcast can be found on any of your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. We'll catch you next week.
Catch you next week.